Hi, I'm Stavros Nicolaou, Strategic Trade Executive at Aspen Pharmaceuticals. Okay, the healthcare industry remains a critical industry, both from government point of view and also in the private sector in terms of meeting expectation of consumers and patients. We live in a country where we probably have the worst disease burden of any country globally. Our disease burden spans both sort of the more third world infectious type diseases and also the more traditional Western diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and the likes thereof. So trying to manage that challenge is taxing, to say the least, becomes more taxing given the economically and fiscally constrained environment that we have presently in South Africa. So on the basis of that, so the 5 key trends that I see emerging in 2015, I think firstly the ongoing dialogue in respect to national health insurance and clarifying exactly what form and shape national health insurance will take. I think the health minister and his team have framed it as universal healthcare coverage. I think the industry awaits more detail on that next year. So that will unquestionably be one of the continued hot topics. I think complementary to that will be a discussion around, if greater clarity is gleaned, are there opportunities for public-private partnerships, and what would those look like futuristically? I think secondly, just talking once again health more broadly, I'll focus on pharmaceuticals, where I come from, in a little more detail in a moment, but I guess the competition inquiry and the panel that's been established to investigate competition and so-called market failure in the private healthcare system, that will start being implemented proper next year. Certainly the panel, now that it's complete with some of the groundwork, the panel will kick into action, and I think we expect a lot more engagement and interaction around that. More specifically, when it comes to pharmaceuticals, I think some of the areas that we can expect next year will enjoy a strong focus and attention. I think firstly will be the ongoing challenge of strengthening demand management, supply and procurement in the public sector. The volumes in the public sector are massive. Margins are very tight, of course, in the public sector, have been, but have become increasingly so given the fiscally constrained environment that we're operating under. So I think strengthening supply chain and how procurement is conducted, particularly around managing demand and supply by the provinces, depot management by the provinces, I think those will continue to enjoy strong attention, and I think certainly need strengthening. There's been a lot of reported cases of drug shortages, out of stocks, so I think strengthening that must remain a key priority. The other area that's been very topical for the pharmaceutical industry has been managing exchange rate risk. So we've seen, everyone knows, in the last 24 months, the rand deteriorating from levels of about 7.80 rand to present spot. As I sit here today, spot rates around 11.10 rand. So it's a devaluation in the rand of about 70-odd%. Most pharmaceutical ingredients and many finished products are of course imported into South Africa. So exchange rate risks have a huge bearing on sustainability and consistency in supply. So I think depending on how the rand behaves next year, I think mitigating that exchange rate risk, particularly at a public sector level, will become important. We are encouraged that the government, primarily the Department of Health, has provided a fresh approach to how you look at currency adjustments. It was particularly punitive in the previous antiretroviral tender, and many companies ended up losing money because of the exchange rate movements. So there's a new formula now. It's based on a historical 6-month average, but looks forward So it does provide some mitigation, but nonetheless exchange rate risk remains, albeit in a milder form.